Hello, everyone, and welcome to Disney Magic Podcast, a fun new Disney podcast hosted by a British guy. I'm your host, Zach Campbell, and you can join me every other week for magical stories, amazing guests, intriguing history, and overall a trip down Main Street, USA. From Disney parks to a galaxy far, far away, we'll be talking all things Disney and just how magical it is. Get ready for this episode because it's starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast, the Disney Magic Podcast, with your host, Zach Campbell. I am here for a super exciting video, super exciting episode for you. I've got some amazing guests today. We have CJ from Park to Park, Jason and Jeff from Science of Amusement. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get them on. It's going to be super dope. It's going to be super fun. Let's go.
But what the question was, what's in Disney movies, what's the color symbol of evil?
Oh, yeah.
Lime green. And I was like, I guess I knew it. I knew it because when I saw the answer, I'm like, oh yeah. When I was asked, I knew it, but I didn't know it.
That's
I never thought of that before.
Probably like a purple or black.
Think of like potions, and they're like,
and like,
now the cauldron.
Aren't green. Scar's eyes green too?
Yeah. Lime green. It's always lime green.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of going for like Spaceship Earth theme, and I feel like purple, black, and white are kind of along those themes.
Yeah.
Like keyboard that I'm building. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome. That's so cool.
So it like matches my chair, matches this,
Yeah.
Is that just one of those generic ones that you can find on Amazon that you just make your own keys?
I ordered stuff from Canon Keys, I think.
Okay.
I mean, the problem I ran into is the PCB died. I did something wrong to it, but I have a backup, so I get to rebuild it.
I've been there. This is why I'm now on a laptop. Used to have like a top-end gaming PC, and I was like, there was something wrong with the power unit. I was like, I can fix it, sure. And I was like, nope, absolutely not. Someone else can fix it. I'm not dealing with it. But yeah.
So could you hear us talking when we?
I could. I was pissing myself laughing, but like the recording couldn't because I had it muted. But like, I wish it wasn't. It was a completely mistake because Donald Duck there would have been ace. It would have been great. Okay, so I have Jason, CJ, and Jeff, also known as the Goofy Doop. So, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, go in clockwise, counterclockwise. It's entirely up to you. I'll let you guys take the reins for a minute.
If we're going clockwise, you get to start, Zach.
I mean, everybody knows me on my own podcast.
You're
I mean, come on.
Mine, so this is relative or something.
Jeff, why don't you start?
Yeah, Jeff, you start because you're
Jeff. They call me the they call me the Goofy Duke. Well, I love to do Goofy's voice. And that's it. That's me. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you, man.
Where can I find you?
Huh?
Where can we find you?
Oh yeah, I gotta post. I'm gonna make a big push this year on
Let's go.
Goofy stories on Instagram. Sometimes it's Goofy _stories. Sometimes it's Goofy stories, one word. Just figure you'll hear when you hear it. When you click on the thing and you click on the other thingy and then you hear this guy here, then you know it's me. So like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Oh man. CJ, do you want to go?
Sure. I'm CJ. You can find me on Instagram at The Weekly Mouse, and I have a podcast as well called the Park to Park Podcast, where we compare Disneyland to Walt Disney World. And I don't know, I used to be a cast member at Disneyland, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom. Magic Kingdom's like 5 miles that way.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I know. So when CJ first told me that, I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. Like, oh, just, oh.
And I'm North Carolina. I'm like 8 hours from
You're close. You're
I'm
close.
close enough. I'm
I mean,
closer.
I'm 8 hours, but it's a fucking plane and an ocean in the way. Like, it's not fair. I can't swim that far. I'm not a very good swimmer. And the water's cold. I don't like being cold, so that's another factor.
I believe in you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm 150 days out, so
I'll see you by 6.
Yeah, that's it. Get the kettle on, Jeff.
I'll be there 8 hours for me, 8 hours for you.
It'll work. Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll work.
It'll be okay.
And Jason?
I'm Jason. You can find me at Science and Amusement, Interactive Room, Discovered Magic Podcast, on Etsy at Interactive Room. I could be here all day if I name everything. I'm in Arizona. I'm about 5.5, 6 hours from Disneyland. So still a day trip.
Absolutely. And thank you all so much for being here. I'm super excited to collaborate and imagineer, armchair imagineer, because today's episode, ladies and gents, we're going to be creating the ultimate Disney park. Now, the theming of this, I have a couple of rules for this. So the theming is every single park is in your play zone. You can choose whichever park from Disneyland to Shanghai, whatever you want, lands, rides, restaurants, etc. I haven't done any research, so I'm just going off my own experiences and things that I've seen online, so I don't expect you guys to do any research either. So, but the rules are, let me see, did I actually write the rules down, or did I just, no I didn't, okay, fair enough. I didn't, I'm not so woefully unprepared. Let me think, what are the rules? Okay, you can only have one land from each park. Oh, does it? Okay, let me look at this then. Oh, technical difficulties. 1 second.
Oh no, not really technical.
Just crank it.
We'll say this for our audience. If you want, Zach, want to leave this in. I'm like, Zach, I think your mic sounds like your laptop mic and not your usual, Disney. I gotta hear that Disney. I gotta hear the accent. And
Disney.
I know you well.
Yeah.
And,
okay. Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. I don't know what was happening.
For the win.
There we go. Fixed it. All right. So.
Or even I am a brain cellar. Oh yeah, loud. Wow.
Okay. Yes.
Hurt my ear holes.
Oh no, Goofy. I'm so sorry. Okay.
You got me here.
So, one land per park. You're only allowed to choose one or the other. Rides are all go. You can choose restaurants, rides, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean the best way I think to start would be to go land for land and just be like starting from Main Street or starting from the entrance. I mean starting from the entrance or from Main Street. Entirely up to you guys. I personally will start with Main Street because I feel like all the entrances are kind of very similar. So, I mean, that's entirely up to you.
There's 2 parks, and Perilous is being one of them, where they have that hotel right from the beginning.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, granted, that's just the bougie Paris lifestyle because that's just how it be. And I was very, very spoiled when I was younger. For my 7th birthday, I went and stayed in the Disneyland Hotel and was like had park entrance, and I was like, I don't think I can go to another park at Paris ever again. Like go to another hotel at Paris ever again because I was like literally woke up and walked into the park. I was like, I can't stay at any other park like 20 minutes away. I don't know what that is. I don't want to do that. Like so. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. So feel free. I mean, who wants to start? Who's feeling lucky enough to take the first step?
I think I kind of just did, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, there you go.
But I mean, okay, so that's the entrance, or I
Yeah.
guess that would be technically the train station too. I mean, because it's right there with it.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Main Street,
Mm-hmm.
Also, Paris has, and we were just kind of talking about this, Jeff, on the Sharing the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is a restaurant, and I don't know what it's called, but it has the food basically based off of Walt's. Name,
Oh, yeah.
So it's the food that she used to cook for him. There's recipes based on that. They're according to our author Thrin, who actually wrote one of the books on that.
Oh, wow, nice.
They're not exact, but they're kind of inspired by.
Yeah.
But it seems like a cool idea. I would want that in a park.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's surprising that that's not in the OG park, like something like that for Walt, for like a restaurant in like honor of him in terms of that.
Yeah, we have.
Don't they have his chili recipe in the park? Kind of.
Yeah.
Is that the campfire chili? Is that?
Wait, I think it's pretty authentic-ish, right?
Right.
Like,
he also just used to eat out of the can.
Yeah.
He was a boomer, right?
Yeah.
That's just what I call boomers. Oh, these boomers who just spam from a can all the time. They're like, gosh.
But the chicken at the restaurant, like he used to eat that all the time too. So I kind of think that's
from the Plaza Inn.
Plaza Inn,
yeah, that has to be included because that's the best fried chicken. My family calls it crack chicken because it's so good. So, as long as there's Plaza Inn fried chicken somewhere, I'm in.
And I think he kind of wanted that there because he would go over to Knott's and eat their chicken time. So.
Oh, Knott's chicken is good though. I remember that.
Yeah.
So there we go. So I mean, I've gone for the OG Main Street because I've gone for more of like the original. Like I feel like you walk down that original Main Street. Like personally, I've never done it, but like I can just imagine it just feeling so much different to any other park with like. Holy crap, you're walking in the footsteps of Walt Disney. Like, that must be insane to feel like you're walking down the path that he created. And it's just that historic factor, I think. And it just, stick those restaurants in that he loves, stick the food in that he loves, and make it Marceline. And it's basically Walt's hometown right there. So, I mean, I'm all for that. And I love all of the, the Plaza Inn sounds like amazing. At Walt's at Disney Paris is meant to be insanely good as well, from like reviews that I've watched and stuff like that. So so yeah, I mean, I think it's just the best of everything that you kind of want. So it just seems ideal to have, for me personally, to have the California and then just have little sprinkles of all that kind of stuff in. Okay, so moving down, going to the hub. Obviously, you're going to have the partner statue. That's just a given. You've got to have that. You get to the hub. What castle we choosing, boys? What castle we choosing? Because that's a tough one.
I'm gonna go hipster on this. Like, if you play Pokemon Go or something, there's like the blue team and the red team, and those are everyone's either blue or red. And
yellow,
which is like, the meme is like yellow's eating paste in a corner while the other two are fighting. Okay, that's sort of where that's that sweet pocket how I live my life. We all know this.
Yeah, same.
So I'm gonna go Beauty and the Beast. I think that castle would be perfect. I want to see that.
Okay.
That's my castle. I don't know. I don't care how big it is compared to the others. I just know that story resonates with me, tremendously, and that's the castle I would want to live.
Oh, 100%.
Bam, hit the park.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then Goofy Sky School is right in front of it. It just blocks the view.
No.
Can't even see the castle. It's just Goofy Sky School right in front of it. That would be my perfect Disney.
So for me, I would actually go with the Hong Kong Disneyland Castle because my sister and our podcast is about Disneyland versus Disney World, and we did an episode comparing the castles, and I have a very soft spot in my heart for the Disneyland Castle.
Yeah.
but I think the Hong Kong castle does a really good job.
Which castle is that, CJ?
It's like a combination of things.
Oh,
so
is it?
Yeah, there's like the original Sleeping Beauty style castle, but they like added on like height to it.
Yeah, they've added like the height of like Cinderella's at like Florida.
Yeah.
It's quite big.
Did I misspeak though? Like I thought, which one is? I thought that Beauty and the Beast, the castle was actually in one of them. I don't know which one it was. Is it? It's not France. Is it France?
No, it's not France. France's Sleeping Beauty because
Tokyo.
I think it was Tokyo because they have.
I think it's Tokyo.
They have a copy of ours now as well. Oh, I said ours now.
Oh man, look at all you guys fact checking. This is great.
I mean, CJ, official fact checker right here. I mean, I'm not touching anything. I'm just drinking my rum and coke.
Okay, listen. I haven't been to any international parks, so I'm just looking.
I know. No, you're good.
It kind of looks like the back side of the castle. Kind of looks like Beauty and the Beast, but I'm not sure.
In Tokyo? Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Goofy Sky School's still blocking whatever it is, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, you can go get your churro, pass through it, but
I mean, I honestly think I love the Sleeping Beauty castle at Paris. It is gorgeous. The Maleficent animatronic is chef's kiss because it's just probably like the best thing it's my most vivid memory of Disneyland Paris. It is awesome because it's like in a dungeon and it's just this massive dragon that just slightly moves its head, but it kind of like makes steam from its nose and its eyes glow, and it's just it's amazing. But I honestly think they should have gone with a Beauty and the Beast style castle. Because it's in France, it's based in France.
Oh yeah.
I think you should have done that, and then you should have been able to explore kind of like the West Wing, which I think would have been very cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
They should have like a, I don't know, more Hunchback themed stuff too.
Yes, yeah. Hunchback is very like underrated. It really is. It really is.
I wonder, like, now you brought that up, I've never thought of that before. What if certain Disney parks were more focused, story-wise on geography?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What if Disney Paris had more like the Hunchback, or had more, and then like Beauty and the Beast, and it was more like centric to those stories versus just here's a copy and paste Disney wherever it is.
Oh yeah.
Boy, and that would give incentive for Disney people to go, wow, I want to go to this.
Yeah,
place, this Disney, because I want to experience it. Because it's not like, again, not just copy and paste kind of let's put the attractions, the same experience everywhere, but let's make it the same experience but profoundly different.
Make it geographically like topical. Yeah.
I'm not a business person, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just think that
the only thing with that I would say is like if you're trying to put Hunchback in Disneyland Paris, like first off, there is no castle really.
No.
I mean, you could, which is actually not far away.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, the beauty of it is if it doesn't
do what I
said as a business plan, you just light it on fire and collect the insurance.
I was going to say, do what I said, just make California or France in a park.
Yeah.
Make the big church. If you had that, make the big church, and then
Make it in another country where
hashtag bring back Superstar Limo.
Well, in my mind, I went back to the Festival of Fools stage show that used to be at Disneyland back in Big Thunder Ranch. They could bring that to Paris. That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
And I think
there you
would
go.
Be very much a part of that. That's something like just feels like home.
And I also think, if they tried to make the parks more based on their geographic IPs, I think it would force the animation and the studio side to be a little bit more creative, because we have Mulan, but what else do we have for, say, Tokyo? Like, there's nothing.
Right.
Like,
the only thing I can think of for
China,
like Japan is Big Hero 6.
Right.
But then that's like a combination of like San Francisco and Tokyo, so
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
which one does it lean more towards? 'Cause it's more Americanized than it is like
Right.
Asian culture.
Updated in DCA.
Yeah, they've got
yeah.
the Fransan Sokyo Bridge, haven't they? Which looks pretty dang cool, to be fair. I quite like the look of that. I'm a big Hero 6 fan, so it's kind of like I do appreciate
That's a great
that.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout Boy, one of my favourite bands, did Immortals. Oh, good song.
Yeah.
But it got undershadowed because Frozen.
Oh, have you ever? Okay, Zach. Have you ever? Okay, speaking of Fallout Boy, have you ever? Brandon Leary, is that his name?
That's Panic at the Disco.
Oh, Fallout Boy.
Patrick Stump is a Fallout Boy.
No. Okay, well, if anyone's a Panic at the Disco fan, he does. There's a thing on YouTube where he it's just him drinking a beer or something or whiskey, and he's on a piano and he's just singing Disney songs, and it's
nice. Love that.
So,
Love
you're
that.
right. It's not Fallout Boy, but dang it. Yeah, I've always gotten those confused.
Oh no, that's fine. No, it's all good. It's all good. The emo in me appreciates you bringing it up. The emo that never dies.
It's all Disney content, right? So.
Oh yeah, there you go. See, there you go. Alrighty, so we've decided. Oh, Jason, you didn't decide on a castle, actually. I don't think.
Well, going on what CJ said, I kind of like the idea of like a mixed castle that just has a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But I would like to have something at the bottom, like the dragon or something. Like, that's kind of a cool idea.
Nice, yeah. Because Paris is just, honestly, deemed the most beautiful. Actually, I don't even think it's to me. I mean, I've never been to Disney Sea, but it must be a very close second. Disney Sea and Tokyo and Paris. Paris is deemed the most beautiful, but I honestly think Disney Sea it is probably up there a little bit more, just because it's just
those are the two parks I really want to
just
visit.
Beautiful. 100%. Yeah, 100%. It's just gorgeous. Really is. Okay, so we've all decided on a castle. Actually, before I actually do move on, controversial topic. Do you think the Disneyland castle should be bigger?
No. The original one? No.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
No?
Okay.
No.
You actually can't by laws because of flight.
Is it lower than it is in Florida? Because I know Florida it's like 200.
If you could, I still wouldn't do just because it is original.
Yeah.
I mean,
fair.
I'm going to go against the grain and say, yes, it should always be bigger. Bigger's always better.
I mean,
everyone,
that's what
always better.
That's what, Florida was for.
Yeah.
Always better. Come on, everyone.
But it doesn't necessarily mean it's better.
This is coming from someone who's 5 minutes away.
Okay, but here's the thing. The Disneyland one, it's very wide and spreads out, and to me that's really welcoming. It's not this big, towering, imposing thing, and it feels like the castle's giving you a hug as you approach it.
Yeah.
It kind of surrounds you in a way that, like Cinderella Castle towers over you, Sleeping Beauty Castle surrounds you, and I think there's something really cool about that.
Yeah, and I think there's a ratio, because if the castle isn't if it's not actually functional, it doesn't need to take up. It doesn't need to be so big where it's like, cool, it's great to look at, but can I climb it? Can I go to the, climb the spire and no, you can't. So I'm like, if it's how functional, there's a ratio of functionality to size that I'm like, okay, we all know I can't, you can't, you want to, when you see this thing, you're like, oh, I want to explore it, but you can't explore it.
Right.
Because it's just there. And that's one thing that not Disney critics, but people that, will often use these, Disney, the castle in Disney to illustrate vapidness or just something, surface level sort of aesthetics, because it's like, well, the form's there, but not the function. And
and Paris can go outside the second story, right?
Well, in one of them you can, yeah.
I think it's Paris. Yeah, I think it's Paris. Yeah.
No, I thought it was Disney World. There's one that you can actually. There's a room in there.
Disney World is the one with the Cinderella suite, isn't it? but it's
Yeah,
like
that's where
very
the
exclusive.
Dream Suite is,
Right,
and that's
right.
also where Cinderella's Royal Table Restaurant is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay,
if
so
you want to spend
function.
that kind of money on a dinner or
Yeah.
breakfast or something,
Right.
you can get in there.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the thing is you can't. The normal person can't,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so
Right.
I think you're right. I think those of you who have said, okay, well, it shouldn't be like this big. It shouldn't take up 1/3 of the kingdom. You know, it's like, and then have a little room up there of like the holy of holies that only these little people with the money and the I mean the 1% can go up and have a dinner. It's like, well, okay, that's not cool. That's not what Walt was about. That's not what,
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of the reason why I like the Disneyland castle better. Like you can walk through and see the story, and it, like I said, it's giving you a hug on the outside, and you get the story, the feel good on the inside when you walk through it.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that.
I like that. I like that.
I love that model. Yeah. Nice. There we go. So you heard it here first. Nobody wants to change it. Jeff's opinion doesn't count.
Mine was just for comedic value. It wasn't actually. Half the stuff that comes out of my mouth, I don't actually believe. I just say it for either shock value or just to make things more interesting.
Yeah,
so.
that's it. I say things for sarcasm. It's all good. It's all good. All right, all there. All right, so let's get into our first land. We've made it past the hub. We've decided on our castle. We're going to Tomorrowland. So, first off, which side of the hub would you put Tomorrowland on? Up, north, west, east, south, or south?
I mean, I think historically it's always like to the right.
It is, but remember, Jason, this is your park.
I know.
You can do what you want.
I'm just saying I'm used to that, and that's how I would still do it.
Well, because I'm English, I'm going to put it to the left.
Let's see.
Clockwise.
Everything's on the left, nothing's on the right. It's just going to be a giant boomerang shape.
So Shanghai actually flipped it. Theirs is on the left.
Aha! I think I think that's because China drives on the left side of the road.
Because they're upside down, so...
Yeah.
And the water goes the other way.
The water goes the other way, yeah. I mean, that's one of the first things I'm doing when I come over, just to see the toilet flush the other way.
Yeah,
man.
I think I'd put it on the right too. It feels right to be on the right.
No, it needs to, and here's why.
So you're saying CJ doesn't feel left? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
To me, the left would be. So how do we read from right to left?
Oh, I see. Oh,
no, we don't. We read left to right.
It's not ancient Hebrew.
You're looking ahead to the right.
No,
yes,
it starts from left and then you go right. Sorry, I dyslexia. It's that's exactly how you go. You start from the left and you go right. So if you're drawing a picture and there's a car, you're going to see that car go from the left to the right. Mm-hmm. However, if it's something like Back to the Future or something where in the mind's eye, you're going to see that DeLorean go from the right to the left, like in whatever it is, like, a poster or something. But that's like they teach you that in art school and that sort of thing. I think the reason why that is on the right, it's that same sort of thing. It feels weird going that direction for me, at least psychologically. If it was on the left, because I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm going to the past. Oh, I mean, I read from left to right. All these cereal boxes I buy, it's always the characters are looking this way and not that way. Why the heck would I go this way to go see Tomorrowland? Tomorrow is always this way, not that way. And so that I can sort of see a psychology of why they pop it that way, because that's just typically, when you see cars moving, it's the same direction as we read, because, that signals to our brains we're going somewhere, we're moving towards something. But when you stop, you break that, and you go the other way, that signals to us that we're like, oh, it's time to break that progression, and now we're going back into something. And so for me personally, It needs to be on the right.
So that's why they put Galaxy's Edge on the left, because that's
Now we have our quick clip. There it is. Now you have your little snapshot of
Yeah.
Oh.
That's my pod clip for the next month.
I mean, you're not wrong, man. Like,
Jeff goes deep and Jason's like, fuck this. It's a Galaxy's Edge on the left.
Well, I mean,
forget that logic.
It sort of is for me. It was weird being. Well, I wasn't, because in a long, long time ago,
in a galaxy far, far away.
But how did they put it? Up when I went to Disneyland, it was that way and this way, which I don't know if they're that in tune to the placement. But to me, that
you have
sense.
Adventureland and then Frontierland.
It was far out and a little bit backwards.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna go like by time, Frontierland should come before Adventureland.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it like chronological time order.
That doesn't make sense.
Now, Frontierland though is like you're still sort of in this like Critter Country and all that. It's like that way. It feels
that comes after. I'd say.
I don't know.
That'd be a weird transition. Like, howdy, partner. Welcome to the future.
Well, welcome to the future.
That's
you're
gonna go in time. You're gonna go.
This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Oh my.
That's not Goofy, by the way. That was some hybrid between like the evil sheriff of Nottingham and Goofy. So just so you know,
the evil Goofy of Nottingham.
I know. Lance, scan your ID card. We'll come this way. No, don't go that way. That way. Wait, where are you going? Something like that.
All right, so all of y'all are on the right, yeah?
We're on the right.
I'm going against the grain, man. I'm going on the left just because traffic flows this way.
No, that's okay.
I'm going against the grain. I'm going to be the odd one out. All right, so we've all decided where Tomorrowland's going to be. Let's discuss rides. What rides are we having in your perfect ideal Tomorrowlands? Disneyland people, I know you're gonna put the People Mover. I know you want it. Yes. I know you want it.
Yes. Please bring it back.
I mean, it's one of those things that needs to be there. And you know what? I'm gonna put mine out into the universe. I am gonna put my Tomorrowland as Paris's Discoveryland, because I think honestly it's probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing lands to me personally. The whole Jules Verne, the whole Discoveryland kind of beautiful aesthetic, that retro sci-fi, I think that suits very well. Tomorrowland 2066 was just a shit job at doing that, to be fair. Like, it wasn't great. Let's get Jules Verne, let's get Discoveryland, but we're gonna have the People Mover, but we're gonna create it as like in that kind of like same time period as like, I don't know, maybe like some sort of like steampunk rocket type. Yeah. A hybrid between a hybrid between a people mover and the rocket rods that actually work. Like, let's be real there, because those rocket rods just messed everything up.
They did. So I'm gonna go probably against the grain on this one. I would do the Tomorrowland that was like 1967 Disneyland Tomorrowland. I'm really into that, mid-century architecture, retrofuturism.
Yeah, lovely.
Totally my jam.
Yeah.
And I'd also bring back the House of the Future, but I would make it a restaurant of the future, like a table service restaurant.
Ooh,
almost like imagine Space 220 at Epcot, but you're in
actually done
a
good
house, not a space station.
Nice, yeah, I like that.
For people who can't get a reservation, there's the space bar outside that they can hang out in.
There we go.
People Mover is a must, 100%. And I don't know, currently I look at Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and I think that Tron and Cosmic Rewind should switch places. But in this made-up Disney park, I'm keeping Tron, but making it a longer ride.
Yes, because 30 seconds is just not long enough.
Yes.
Like, oh man.
All right, so
yeah, go on, Jeff.
Well, I was going to say, so what you're saying is anything by my main man. Shout out to David Bossert.
I would
Anything
also
he
bring,
decides?
pretty much, I'd also bring back Circle Vision to Disneyland because it's been years since they've had a Circle Vision attraction, but it would be updated to space exploration kind of 360 film.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Well, his
I had
David Bossert, we interviewed him on Sharing the Magic, and I bought his book, The House of the Future, and I was like, I want this house. I want this. I want to come home to that. That's all I want in life. So, love that man. And if you're thinking of like,
I just think since they like got rid of that version of Tomorrowland, it's been so lost, like just so confused. You know, like, remember the brown rocks they did in the 90s, and they're like kind of undoing that, and it's just like a mess right now in Disneyland, at least. And I think there's some oomph missing from the Magic Kingdom Tomorrowland, so they gotta do something.
Yeah, definitely.
So Steve and I had a thought on the Circle Vision, is if you use the like technology for the sphere in Vegas, but vision. So you have it anywhere you want. You can change it up and do whatever you want.
That's cool. I'm all for that.
Yeah, because that sphere in Vegas, man, is it's so cool. It's another level of like just experience, but like I think it'd do so well in like a Disney park. I always feel like they could just do it, just upgrade Spaceship Earth, like the outside of the exterior of the Spaceship Earth a little bit, and just use that. But I mean, it's just projectors, isn't it? That's all it is.
Well, they sell like TV panels pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, they could just upgrade Spaceship Earth a little bit. I mean, how hard is it to upgrade a geodesic dome?
Imagine putting that in Tomorrowland. Like, every land has like a weenie, to drop people in. That would be a great one, honestly.
100%.
And they could incorporate it into nighttime shows. Like, that would be really cool.
Because what have they got now? The Astro Orbiter? Like, no one cares about that. Who goes on the Astro Orbiter, guy? Like, who? Raise of hands, like.
I think that's the scariest ride in all of Magic Kingdom, because I look at it and I'm like, this is sitting out here in the sun, in the rain.
Well, the one on
hold me in. Am I gonna go flying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the one in Disneyland is like up, is it? It's raised. It's on the platform. Is that
Magic Kingdom?
Or is that Magic Kingdom?
On top of the People Mover track, and that was actually better as a kid, because then you're actually hanging over the edge. But now they put it in the front, and it just bottlenecks everything. It's just
and it's not as thrilling.
Oh man! So
it's like the one that and the Arbitron, whatever they call it. Seen up top there now. Those still have the Jules Verne look, but it's the only things left in the park, so they're just like
it's just out of place.
It is. It's very the Disneyland Tomorrowland's very much a mishmash of different eras of Tomorrowland.
And I said this in my last episode, like I was like, it was one of these questions. I think it was Steve that like asked me this question. Was like, seriously, just close it. Just close Tomorrowland, bulldoze the whole thing, and restart it, because you can't construct around people. You need to close it down. You need to reimagine it, because it just needs doing. It really does. It's like, it's so disheartening how much lack of attention it gets, and it's just it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Yeah, I heard someone say it's supposed to be Tomorrowland, not Yesterdayland, but when there's a certain, now here's the problem with Tomorrowland is when you reskin, you're working with things you already have, and you're just trying to like, okay, reimagine this sort. You have the shell of what you already have, but then that's just sort of not how like, reimagining the future is. It's not. It's not just sort of this. What would you call it? This sort of using stuff that's already there and just forming it and trying to make something. No, I agree. It's like level it down and just start from fresh and say, okay, 200. We all knew like Back to the Future, what they envisioned the world was, it would be right now. Well, I don't have a hoverboard, so that
I don't have self-tying shoes.
Clearly gone, and I'm salty about it. So level it down and let's just reimagine from now. And to say, okay, well, what do you think in 300 years, 400 years? Let's think positively. Let's make it a utopia, not a dystopian. Now you can make a Blade Runner Tomorrowland, and I'd be on that. I'd totally be in that. Like, I'd be fine with that too. Like, if you want to reinvent, that wouldn't be like really good to Disney unless you're like.
I mean, Disney technically owned
like
Blade Runner. It's Fox.
It could be like an Andor sort of.
Yeah.
You know, but not really. I mean, you can't. It needs to be utopian and not dystopian.
It does.
You know, and it should be. And I think that side of Disney serves as hopefulness. You know, people that they go there to Tomorrowland, it's not like, okay, you shouldn't go on these rides, be like, huh, yeah, this was the view of the future, you know, 50 years ago or whatever, and be like, haha, silly people.
Yeah.
Like, it should be a fresh, like, I think Tomorrowland above all else should be given the most attention to, because that is sort of the beacon of okay, let's not fall into nihilism,
futurism,
or, you know, or it's a utopian, hopeful vision of the future. And I think when you're going to Disney, it's like, okay, it is about hope. It's about, you know, you have your fairy tales. There's always these happily ever afters, whether you're on this ride or that ride. But then the sort of narrative, you know, structure of some of these rides, they should reflect that as well. And I think when you go too long without, like, really, really, maybe part of the problem is I just don't know if I don't think as a culture, we don't even have sort of a utopian, optimistic view of the future. I think we're in a place where most people in our culture are just like, well, you know, we always envision the future to be this way. Well, the future is now.
Yeah.
And again, where's my hoverboard? Yeah. And it's not just that. It's like, modernism didn't save us the way that we thought it did. We moved into postmodernism. It didn't save us the way we thought it would. And now we're in this weird postmodernism where it's about deconstructing everything, and just, you know, all the hopes and dreams we thought of are just, you know, they don't exist. And well, that's now we kind of live in this, you know, this, it's reflected in all the art that we view and we read. Not always, but sometimes. You know, how there's just this negative view of the future. And that's why I joked about Blade Runner earlier, because I'm like, well, I think maybe one of the reasons why you don't see, you know, a positive futurism in our culture anymore is I just think we're jaded.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
If I'm wrong.
I think that's why.
Well, I don't know. Well, that was a lot of very philosophical sort of things I was saying. So.
It was, man. I felt like I was watching the Small World video again.
Well, I'm an idiot, but then every once in a while I'm like, you know, postmodernism, deconstruction theory. I'm like, where did I learn that?
Jeff gets deep, man. CJ, you have to check out the Small World video. That's like, it's a highly recommended. It's like Jeff goes into this like, what if Small World is like the epitome of death?
Oh my! I love Small World.
No, so does Jeff. That's like his favorite ride.
We all want to happily ever after, and this is a grand eschatological something theory of, you know, of how, a telos, or I don't know what other. I don't know where this comes from. I'm a guy that just does silly, dumb impressions, but every once in a while I'm like, well, it seems like the eschatological sentiment of postmodern deconstruction theories, blah blah blah. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. Anyone who's listening, don't take me seriously. Just do your own. We all have our thoughts, our feelings. I need to go get some water. I'll be right back. Love you guys.
And if you're watching, take him very seriously, because
he's got some far out ideas.
100%. Jeff is.
I was just joking with this whole death thing. He's like, no, that's actually what I was thinking. I'm like, we'll send you the link, CJ.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with CJ. It should be this retro future that we
100%
thought of in the 80s or 70s or whatever, because the future is always changing, and you're always going to be.
That's what I mean.
Go back to it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I think Tomorrowland, like Jeff was saying, it always needs to be updated, because no matter how far in the future we get, we're always going to be behind in the parks, because you can never catch up.
Yeah.
Like something happens, you're going to be you get on that straight away. It's like you're at least a year behind by creating and constructing a ride based on that. It's like,
Yeah.
just stick with things that are like retro and just make it that kind of.
The problem they have with Tomorrowland, I used to teach history, high school and junior high history, and I was really into how they design curriculum for history, and it's a very similar problem. History is always growing and always changing.
Oh,
so how do we adapt to that today?
Yeah.
And it's literally the same problem that Tomorrowland has. How do we adapt with portraying humanity's view of the future every single day?
That's
It's impossible to keep up with in a realistic, like, unless they have unlimited money, which yes, they have a lot of money, but not really unlimited.
No.
Like they can't. And so I think the most realistic way to handle that is to kind of take this timeless look at the future, which to me is like the Jetsons kind of
the 50s kind of feel of the future. Yeah.
But I was, because there's still, within that, even though that kind of style might be dated or not realistic for what we have in the future, I think the hope within that and like the kind of silliness of like, we're gonna have flying cars, like I think a lot of people relate to that. Like that's still kind of like a timeless motif throughout looks at tomorrow through the future.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
I had a video, and I made this like 2 years ago or something on my channel. But if you combine Tomorrowland movie aspects, the whole look of that with the Guggenheim stuff. I mean, those were actually filmed at real locations in Argentina, I think it was. By day, and then by night, you have Tron Legacy look. Well, everything white and black and edge-lit, and it's like I think that's the way you can handle it. And at nighttime, it turns into this lit up thing, kind of like Cars Land. You'd have this like special ceremony every night where lights turn on,
with the spirit involved in that show.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had like kind of the crystals like in front of Spaceship Earth, like lit up and
Yeah. But even though Tron's like futuristic, it's still that retro, like 50s kind of style. Like it's based in a video game, but it's still old kind of like futurism with like the lights. And for me personally, I feel like it is. Like I feel like it's.
And I think even like the concept of Tron, of stepping into a video game, which I mean, we have VR, but you're not traveling at 60 miles per hour when you're using VR. You're standing there, sitting there, and maybe
walking idly around your room, bumping into walls.
And you still have to wear like goggles. So it's like the concept of putting you into a game and you are a character right now in a game. I think that's something. Speaking as a gamer, I think that's something that gamers are going to want to experience.
Oh, 100%. And the
like forever.
100%. And the only thing I can think coming close to that, relating to that, is the Google Glass. Like, not the fucking the Apple thing. That's stupid, man. Have you seen it, Jeff? Come on, man.
I know. I have.
It looks stupid.
I would wear that.
I mean, hey, man, do what you do.
I win. I don't care.
Do you?
Hey, everybody, just be like this all the day long.
But I feel like
and
the
everyone
Google
would just know. Don't talk to this guy. He's checked out.
He's insane. But like
around New York wearing
the Casey Neistat,
yeah, Casey.
But I feel like the Google Glass, it's just a pair of glasses. Like that. I feel like that is kind of the future of that kind of stuff. Like, it's not 3D, but it's AI, it's augmented reality. Like you bring in the virtual into the real life, and it's kind of like, let's do that. Like, why do we have to wear like a fucking VR headset outside? Like, what is going on with that?
Eventually just be contact lenses that sync to your phone or something.
I'm
serious. Like, it'll get slimmer. You have to put on regular glasses. And then before you know it, it'll just be like, I put in, and that'll be it.
You've logged into Facebook. Fuck, I didn't want to do that. Oh man, but I mean, like the future's always changing. It's one of those things where it's like it needs to stay with that style of like for me, for like the 50s, that kind of style. But for me, I feel like the Jules Verne kind of encompasses that fantastical kind of like sci-fi experience in Paris, and I feel like that'd be perfect for the Tomorrowland that I am looking at. So we've talked about the future. let's go back to the Wild West. Frontierland.
Little Wild West.
Yeehaw!
There we go. Well, I got my... No, I'm still goofy today. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, man.
My Pat Buttram voice is failing me.
So...
Little Wild West.
There you go. Beautiful. So, Frontierland. Where are we all thinking? You coming back to the hub? Tomorrowland's on the right for all of y'all. It's on the left for me. Where's Frontierland going?
Far left.
Far left.
Oh, far left.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Why? I'm curious about that.
Because I feel like...
Because then it'll be the Wild West.
It's like the far extremes of pushing exploration. You know, I think Frontierland is a very like United States kind of thing, and we're headed. You know, they headed west. That's what I think of.
Okay.
Northeast. Yeah, west is on the left.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, far left. Interesting.
It actually used to be the bounds of Disneyland anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say for me, the past would be on the right, the future would be on the left.
Yeah. There you go.
But I don't know. Now I'm a little confused.
I mean, no, I get it. You look at a timeline. You go from left to right, don't you?
To me, it's like if you're standing in a Frontierland that's on the far left of the park, you're looking at a map of like a topographical map of the United States, and you're like wondering what else is beyond that. Yeah. What's beyond the frontier, and eventually you're gonna hit a coastline, right?
The future.
That's just what I think of.
Tomorrowland.
Okay, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, and obviously, I'm British. We don't learn about the Wild West and American colonization.
Trust me.
Apart from I
was there.
Fair news. We learned about Christopher Columbus and how he, founded America. I mean, very loosely. But we learned more about the Vikings and the Anglo-Saxons. He brought his friends. He just wanted a party.
I mean, we can at least say that.
The Anglo-Saxons and how they invaded England and all that kind of stuff from the east and from the east. Yeah, the east. We learned all about that. But I don't understand why it's when I think of the Wild West, I automatically think of Texas. It's not even in the West. It's in slap bang right south. It's right in the middle.
I lived there for 5 years.
It's right down.
It was west compared to where the original 13 colonies were. So fair.
There we go.
No, I lived in Texas, and I'm in North Carolina now. I lived in Kentucky. So, I'm I lived in Kentucky for about 5 years, Texas for 5 years. I'm in North Carolina now. So, I'm getting I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. So that's the Southwest.
That's
so that's
a
completely different place. So when I moved to the South, I'm like, what the heck is this? Because that was totally different than what I grew up in. But, first thing I did when I got to Texas, I adopted the phrase y'all. Y'all. You should incorporate. And you're whoever you are. I don't care who you are. It's gender neutral. It's fine. So many places you can just throw it out there and nobody's gonna care.
I use it all the time. I adopted it and I'm like, I don't know why.
And then there's the pluperfect if you want to get into actual grammar. All y'all.
All y'all. All y'all, yeah, all y'all.
It's all y'all. All y'all, just
The one that I find the most hilarious is y'all would've.
Y'all would've. All y'all would've.
All y'all would've.
That's emphatic, man.
Yeah. This one, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's all three. I can't even think. It's y'all would've, could've, and something like that. I'm like, oh my god.
What if we need to make a campaign? You don't got to bring y'all into British vernacular.
Oh, hey, I'll stand by that 100%.
100%. Why are you saying? Well, why not?
Why not? Yeah, what's stopping me?
Why not?
You're let's make a. Yeah, go ahead,
Zach. I have a question about the Texas thing.
Okay.
So, hang on. I had some place I was going with this. So, Frontierland, for me, Frontierland in the various parks represents I think of the Southwest. I think of Arizona kind of places.
Yeah.
What is that what you think of as well?
I mean,
New Mexico.
to be fair, I mean, obviously Arizona, Redstone State, I get that,
Yeah.
but for me, I think more of like, I don't know, I feel more like it leans, because Wild West is kind of like considered for me Texas. I feel like
Mhm.
it's more Texas, kind of like moving towards like New Mexico way, and it's really not. Like, I don't understand. Like, geographically, it's in the complete wrong area. But like when I think of the
No,
Wild
really, like
West,
Billy the Kid was New Mexico.
that's what.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Billy the Kid.
So I
it's
kind
like,
of think.
you're
I
hitting it
kind of.
right.
I think of that place like. Kind of also kind of like Nevada, like slap bang in the middle of like Area 51, like right in the slap bang in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Where those
No,
aliens be?
for totally. Cowboys and aliens.
Roswell, New
I saw that.
Mexico. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we're
That's where they found
aliens.
Jeff.
No, I'll tell you all about aliens. That's a different podcast. But if you want to know, but everyone's nowadays like they're so intrigued about this new alien like disclosure stuff.
Oh,
is
yeah, yeah.
happening, official like whistleblowing process. I'm like, we've been kicking it with those fools since the freaking 40s, man. Like when they crashed down their stupid ship in our backyard, and we're like, what the heck you do that for? It's not cool. And we're like, and before you know it, like, I mean, got to make a little bit of money off that. So now you have Roswell, and now everyone's freaking out about aliens. I'm like, it's not a big deal, man. Like us that grew up in New Mexico, we knew this years
This
ago.
was in every. This was every day.
That's why we have a museum. It's
I
like
went to
we-
school with aliens, man.
I had to sort of wrestle with, my ontological, where do I fit in the fabric of the cosmos when aliens, when I was like 4 years old and my grandparents took me to the alien museum. It's like, but I got that over with. It's fine. And now when there's disclosure and it's like there's spaceships and we have bodies and, some basement and the Pentagon, I'm like, it's fine. Like, I know.
I know this.
Like, I don't know what do you want to tell me? That's new. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, I digress.
No, but that's what I think of, like that kind of area. So yeah, I don't know why. It's just one of those things, I guess. Okay, so I mean, we've all decided. I mean, y'all are going far left from Tomorrowland.
No, I mean, I still got to go right.
You're going right above or
Yeah,
below
but
Tomorrowland, then.
But I respect when you say, okay, far. I get it. I respect that. I think that's.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
What about Jason?
Yeah.
No, it's gotta be left.
It's gotta be left.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay.
It's right where I am. Okay.
I mean, me and Jeff will stick together. We'll go to the right with Frontierland,
It's funny how they're on my screen anyway. You're both on the right. We're on the left.
Perfect. There we go. So 2 for the left, 2 for the right. Fair dues. Okay, so same kind of thing as Tomorrowland. What ride are we putting in Frontierland? What?
I mean, there's got to be at least the one, right? I mean,
There's got to be the one, but which?
Yeah.
But which one? Personally,
we all know.
Big-
I don't even have to say it. We all know which one.
Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland Paris is the best. And
I'm going against the grain.
No,
Sorry.
you cannot, because if you
I
go
like
against
it.
the grain, you're going against Tony Baxter, the Imagineer of Big
I
Thunder
know.
Mountain.
Hey, he's got a lot of other things that going on for him. I would bring the Big Grizzly Mountain ride from Hong Kong. I think it is.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's a more modern take on Big Thunder.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I just think it's a cool ride, and I would like to see it represented elsewhere.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm not so mad now, CJ. That's okay.
I mean, I love Big Thunder, but I also think like every Disney park has it.
Mhm.
So
Because it's
let's
so
use them.
good, and it's my personal favorite.
I know it's good. I know
And
it's good.
Thunder Mesa was the first Big Thunder I ever rode, and it just set the bar because it's the longest, it's the most immersive, it has its own island.
Yeah, you go.
That
Oh.
is true.
It's insane. It's so good. It's so good.
That is true.
And I think it's like one of Tony Baxter's like favorite kind of like, from what I've heard, it's like one of his favorite rides that he's ever created in terms of like imagining of Big Thunder. So it's got
just
that
having
favorite.
just done that right through, there's a lot to look at, and
Yeah.
when you're going up the hills,
Yeah.
you can see the whole park. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing in the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just gorgeous. I think Paris's Frontierland is just probably one of my favourites, and I'll get into it a little bit later. But Phantom Manor is probably like my favourite iteration that I've seen and that I've ridden of not haunting mansion, because haunting mansion is its own. It's in the same area. It's a thing, but it's the original concept of the haunted mansion of like, what if we make it look derelict? What if we make it look disgustingly like abandoned? And that's what Phantom Manor is, and it's just chef's
and
kiss.
it's based on the west, even though
It's based on the west. It's in Frontierland, so it's got that story for it. It's a completely different story.
Mhm.
It takes characters from Expedition. What was that?
From the Society of Explorers
Explorers
and
and
Adventurers,
Adventurers,
right?
yeah.
Western River Expedition, the one that was
Oh yeah.
the Eastern Pirates version.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never got made.
I would put that in a Frontierland, 100%.
100%. Yeah.
There was like
Yeah.
2 rides of them that should have been on that.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
This is looking good. Jeff, how about you, man? What rides would you put in?
No, I gotta go with CJ.
Yeah?
I'm like, let's shake it up. I don't know why. I'm just in that mood today.
You're in that mood to
know,
shake it up?
Yeah, Big Thunder, of course. Not that I don't love that ride. Oh, I absolutely do. But I think I'm with her on this. I think that's sort of where my headspace is at right now. I'm like,
I mean, I could agree.
let's get wet and wild in this. That's a water ride, right?
No, it's like a train ride.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a
Well,
runaway.
that's fine too.
I think you're thinking of
There might
Grizzly.
be water elements.
Oh,
Is
thought
it?
of, like the other?
No, I think you're thinking. Are you thinking of the rapid ride, the Grizzly Peaks?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
No,
Is it Grizzly Peaks
okay,
in?
No, I would just shake it up.
Critter Country.
So let's
There's
get both
no,
in. How
Let's
about
get
there's
that?
no
both.
water on this one.
Let's get both. Let's put them together.
Put them
Get the train
together.
ride. The train goes in the water. It splashes on you. You're like, oh, dang it! You're not in some like rubber ride. Like let's put them together. A train that goes. I mean,
to me,
think outside the box.
looking at I've watched a ride through of it a gazillion years ago, and I thought, oh, that looks cool. But it kind of reminds me of a hybrid between Expedition Everest and Big Thunder. Like if Big Thunder was
that's
just
kinda cool,
updated
though.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any backward parts. I don't remember, but like it just has something about it that's a little bit more modern and elevated than Big Thunder.
And CJ, I think I know the ride you're talking about. I'm gonna go after this. I'm gonna go look it up because I may not. But either way,
I think we need to
I'm
invite.
blindly gonna lean into this and just say,
Jeff's all in.
Here.
Jeff doesn't know what's going on, but he's all in.
Hey, Jeff,
Why not?
You need to
That's
do
how I
it
live
right
my
through
life.
Tiger, and we can watch it.
The what? Okay.
Do it right through it.
Yeah, let's do it. No, that would be cool. Then we could like piggyback off this, and I'd be like, goodness, the other day I didn't know what I
There
was
we
talking
go.
about.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, oh,
There you go. And we'll all go on Jason's channel. We'll all, there you go.
We do ride through commentaries where we talk about it.
Oh, cool.
They're very
and
cool.
I'm all about like, hey, we're you know how like when you're a teenager, you just like so and so's having a party, and you just like you bring like a pack of your friends with you, and your mom's old like beat up van, and you're like, hey, I hope you don't mind. It's like people still in. That's how my podcasting life is lately. So last week on Sharing the Magic, I'm like, oh, here's Jason and Steve-O, and I'm like, hope you don't mind. They didn't. It's just the more the merrier. Build a community. It's awesome. So if you all want to, we won't tell Jason, but if you wanna hijack the podcast,
hey,
just send me
Hey
a
man,
message
100%. I'm ready to go.
We'll drop in on the party.
There's more people in here.
Jeff, you know what you need to do? You need to get on Discord because, like, I've heard you're just not great with it. You need to.
No, I know.
Discord's easy. What?
I'm on Discord. I just don't use it often. I use it to connect to more voice acting people, and
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's where I'm failing, is it? I'm not a voice actor.
See, as a gamer, it's my primary app.
Same.
All the time.
Well, I need to. Okay, teach me the ways. Like, we'll talk later, and you can please tell me everything I'm doing wrong. I am an open book. Like, just
teach me,
I need
Padawan.
to know, please. Or so, I don't know. Do I hit this button here? That button over there? Well, it's gone. What happened? I don't know.
Jason, what about your Frontierland? Where are you? What are you doing? What rides?
Well, I mean, yeah, I still say Big Thunder.
Big Thunder.
Paris,
yeah.
I can see CJ's point, but I'm also really stuck on that Western River Expedition as well. There was I think one of them was a train ride that was built in with like a water ride, and there's some other version. I would probably combine them all. Have like a Big Thunder that goes through that.
Nice,
That'd be cool.
Nice. That sounds good, man. That sounds good. I like the sound of that. Yeah. All right. So, Frontierland is completed. Let's move on. Who's ready for an adventure, boys? Who's ready?
Woo!
Woo! It's adventure time. Let's go. Adventureland. We're going back to the hub. Where are we putting it? Where's Adventureland going in terms of your hub?
I'm gonna have to go what I was kind of suggesting earlier, where I would change places with, as far as our Disneyland, original Disneyland, putting Adventureland first, and then, Frontierland first, and then Adventureland.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I would put mine actually behind the castle, behind Fantasyland.
Yeah, see, that's
In
where
the
I was
outer
thinking of
reaches.
mine to go.
Because, they've made some changes to Jungle Cruise in the name of political correctness. So I think the future of Adventureland is going to be more of a fantastical version of Adventureland as opposed to like a colonialist kind of look.
Yeah.
So I think they could possibly blend it in with Fantasyland somehow. But maybe that's just me.
That's going on.
So if we see Moana on Jungle Cruise, don't be surprised, guys.
I am not for Moana on Jungle Cruise. I'll make that very clear.
We all start chanting O2H. It's like, no! That is not the journey of water, no!
But see, like a Moana kind of transition into Adventureland would be really cool. Like maybe instead of a treehouse, it could be Moana's hideout, or I don't know, something like that, and then portal into Adventureland from there.
Yeah. Okay. I don't agree with that because I like the treehouse. That was one of like because we out with Disney World, the Swiss family treehouse is there. It's still, I think it's still there, and it's never been changed. And honestly, it was one of my favorite things, like to just go up, explore that, and just walk up to the top and just see the views. It was beautiful. So I'd probably keep that, but yeah, I'd put mine behind Fantasyland and have it like a transition of like probably like going through some kind of like forest or like some kind of like jungle of like, I don't know. Towards the end, I'd put like Aladdin towards the end, and it can transition from like desert to jungle, and then like Jungle Book. Oh, that's not fantasy. I don't know.
Maybe Zootopia or something.
Why not?
I mean, maybe Zootopia. I mean, that could work. Shanghai Zootopia man looks gorgeous though. That's always fun.
Yeah, it does.
Here's a weird thought. If this is stupid, it probably is.
No, come on.
But what if rides were not rides, but like, okay, you're talking about the treehouse. We're talking about some of these experiences. What if they were more integrated? Like, what if it wasn't taboo to put Baloo next to somebody from Zootopia? What if it wasn't taboo to like every ride or everything had to have it? Maybe there's more overlap to where it was like, okay, you're getting on this ride. Let's say a treehouse. Okay, let's just here's a snapshot of it. A treehouse. All right. It was Swiss Family Robinson, but boy, who reads these books anymore? Nobody. And I'm not saying you should get rid of it. Like there could be a resurgence in that, but if you're not taking that IP and you're not giving it breathing life back into it,
Yeah.
and you just have this like, here's the treehouse of Swiss Family Robinson. Yeah, that was super popular back in the, when my mom grew up.
Yeah.
But it has no relevance to younger people if they're not breathing new life into it or in some sort of capacity. Well, what can you do to sort of keep the historicity of that ride, but then also to breathe new life into that place? So, okay, so maybe you don't change it, you don't reskin it too hard, but maybe you do enfold Easter eggs. Maybe you do have, you throw in a Baloo or a Bagheera and a Zootopia or some, I don't know, maybe making sort of rides that aren't just thematically so rigid, but just saying, hey, here's this new, it's called the Treehouse. And you don't know what you're gonna get. Maybe you get Baloo. Maybe Baloo's sitting there with is that too chaotic? What do you think?
I think it's funny you say that because in Magic Kingdom they have the Adventure Friends Cavalcade, and we watched it a few weeks ago, and it's like there's Mary Poppins, there's Miguel, there's Woody, and I'm just like, what is
this
like,
collaboration of people?
It's very odd to me. But I think
this might be weird for you, but your kids are gonna love it.
Oh, my kids were overwhelmed and overstimulated. And they're like, I don't know, it's like adventure. I don't remember the song, but it's really loud. Anyways, I think with the treehouse, I don't know if any of you have like seen walkthroughs or done the new treehouse in California. Very well done.
I love that treehouse. I think that needs to come to MK 100%.
Oh, I don't know about that because I like the Swiss Family Robinson. But
I do, but I also
adventure is there.
I like the tie-in to sea over at Disneyland. I think they need more sea relevance over at MK as well. To be fair, so.
Yeah,
I like
my
that.
sister and I have a plan to do a season of our podcast.
Oh, okay,
I'm very much into SEA.
Yes, I love.
I
Jason's whipping out the sign.
Hey.
Look at that. I love SEA. I really do. It's one of my favorite laws of Disney. It really is.
So my treehouse in my ideal Disney park would include a ton of SEA references
100%.
and not so much the characters.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, no. So I mean, going back to what Jess said, I can see where you're coming from, but I also feel like that would just throw off the whole kind of like idea of the land of like, hey, here's Baloo, here's Bagheera, here's like Chief Togo from Zootopia. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I feel like it wouldn't thematically fit because of the timeline of the movie. And I'm looking
You're right.
And I'm looking from like a theory kind of like aspect of it. If you look at like the Disney theory, this is probably a video that I do want to do in the future, but like this theory where all the like the Pixar theory, like all the Pixar movies are connected. It's the same with the Disney movies, like all of the Disney movies are connected. Like Robin Hood is connected to Zootopia. And
well, like look at the House of Mouse, right? That was weird.
Oh,
like I remember watching that for the first time and being like, oh, but now I'm getting you. Now I'm like, okay, maybe if there was common ground, like, okay, now you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Now it's this mishmash of people like the House of Mouse.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, all right. There's a maybe it's a restaurant or something where you're like, okay, ooh, I could see this person, or I could see see anybody and nobody. But
like maybe an adventure themed restaurant and the character set rotates out, like one day it's Zootopia characters, next day it's Jungle Book characters. I would be down for that.
But like House of Mouse, like they're all mishmash. Just like Jafar sitting there with like,
I remember that.
That
was weird.
I love the House of Mouse. Bring that to Disney Plus, please.
I liked it too, but but you're right.
It was bizarre. It was bizarre.
It was. And so you're either, I get that uncomfortable, like,
that ick.
Like, and maybe you wouldn't want that for a ride or that sort of experience, but I thought that was It makes for a good discussion because now I made CJ's like she's like squirming like "Ugh, I don't like
No, I think, in my ideal Adventureland, there really wouldn't be a lot of characters. There would be the SEA treehouse, but then I think I'd also bring Kilimanjaro safaris. I'd rather see real animals. I think that's a really good sense of adventure, honestly, and some sort of boat ride, maybe with like fantastical animals involved, like how they were gonna have, dragons and stuff
at Beastly Kingdom. And on that though, like Animal Kingdom. Here's a theory: is it a continuation of Adventureland?
I mean, yeah, but in a like she said, like in a more real kind of way.
Like a tangible way.
Yeah, like the animals and all that kind of stuff. But then you've also got the adventures of like the Yeti Expedition Everest. You've got Cali River Rapids. You've got what else have you got? You got Pandora. That's an adventure. Like that's a sci-fi adventure.
Like, those all came after the fact.
Yeah,
it wasn't the park.
But as
CJ said, the original park was going to have dragons, and
it was Beastly Kingdom, and I love the whole theory of that. Like I would love to like explore that more and just be like, oh, I will.
That'd be cool. That's from the same lines as happening in the Villains Land,
I mean, I hope they bring that. To be fair, behind Big Thunder or like wherever. But oh my gosh, 100%. I need that. So yeah, Adventureland. I think Jason and Jeff. What would you have in yours? Rides wise,
just nailed it right there. I would love to see the dragon side of things and dinosaurs done correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that whole just fantasy beast,
100%. Yeah,
griffins and unicorns and stuff like any of that.
100%. Yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I don't know. And this is one of those questions where, man, when I'm like, me, I don't hold back if I have an opinion.
Yeah.
But when I don't have an opinion, I'm completely fine of deferring it. Be like, I don't actually know. I'm not smart enough to. I don't know enough about this question to answer. And I just think I'm more well versed in some of the other areas in Disney, but this one I'm just not. You're talking about the dinosaur. I don't know much about that. So I mean, I'll hand over my time to see if anyone else wants to.
No, I mean it's all good, man. I mean it's all good. Like
I don't actually know. Yeah.
Honestly, I think a big part of the problem with Adventureland is it's kind of similar to Tomorrowland. Like they have Tomorrowland's always changing, which we talked about. But the problem with Adventureland is they're stuck with a time period that I don't think they'd do today if they would redo Adventureland.
Yeah.
So it's hard to have a solid base for where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
I guess that's kind of why I go to like the realistic side of things with like a Kilimanjaro safaris, or I'd even bring back like a Tahitian terrace kind of experience that Disneyland used to have.
Why do you think they're uncomfortable with the time era of?
I think it's the colonialism being politically incorrect. I mean, historically accurate, but does Disney really want to be like glorifying that and like fantasizing it? And I don't think the Disney of today would do that.
Sure. Okay. That's helpful.
I think it all extends to when Disneyland opened, which was So what they had was the future of tomorrow. Then they had what Adventureland was then.
Oh shit!
And for the time period, it does make sense, and you can see where they're trying to like step back and make changes to those things. But it's it's hard to do. It's hard to do in the 21st century, and there's so many memories too. Trying to a location that had things open in 1955 and very historic attractions tied into a lot of people. So I get it. It's not an easy task. I don't know. I've even heard things about very distant rumors that they would re-record the Tiki Room bird voices because the guy who did it was not from those cultures. And so it's like, would they really do that? I don't know. Would they even make Tiki
Yeah.
Room today the same way that it is made today using different accents? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it just poses a similar but different problem in Tomorrowland.
Yeah. Boy, who was the creator of the Tiki Room?
Well, I mean, Walt.
Well, yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Besides Walt. No. Who's the design? Hold on, we interviewed him. Sorry, all right. I gotta look back in my podcast. I've been on so many dang podcasts. This has been a whirlwind, a beautiful, wonderful whirlwind of a year. But I'm like, I've met this person, that person. I'm like, he was like the.
Yeah.
Was it the designer or maybe he was one of the voices? Oh my god. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah, just please.
Wally
Jake-
Vogue did one of the voices. Fulton
Wally.
Burley, Ernie Newton, and Thurl Ravenscroft.
Wait, where's the designer? Okay. Designer of the Tiki. I like the Tiki. Oh no! Wait. Oh god. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop talking because like things are getting muddled up in my head. Zach's back. Sorry, man. It's all going downhill since you've been gone for like 4 seconds.
It's all right.
So,
I stood up and I
talking
realized.
about the Tiki Room just to catch you up, and then I started thinking like I knew what I was talking about. And guess what? I don't. So,
Probably cut out like 10 minutes ago.
yeah. Thank you, editing. So.
Absolutely. Oh no. I stood up and I was like, I am drunk. I felt it. I was like, oh no. I'm like 7 deep and I'm like, oh, I feel it now. So the joys. It's all good. It's 10:30. It's fine. It's legal. Yeah. It's fine. I'm not classed as an alcoholic. It's okay. Okay, so we're all good with Adventureland?
Yes, let's move it on.
Alrighty, let's go to the land of fantasy, to where prince and princesses live and everything is all happily ever after. Of course, we're talking about Fantasyland, so...
Fantasyland.
Is it all happy ever after? Because
I mean,
again, I would think you would have to have the villains part of that in there.
Fantasy.
Attaboy, Jason. Attaboy. We need that. We need. CJ's like, no.
Villains are as much part of fantasy as anything. So.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm okay with them having their place in their rides, like in their stories, but having like a separate villains area. I don't know about that.
Okay, so what do you want behind Big Thunder then?
Behind Big Thunder is like the park boundary.
Yeah, I know that now, but
I don't want. Okay, listen. I know, they've blue sky villains coming to Magic Kingdom. I'd prefer to see them in Hollywood Studios over here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think I am.
I would love like a club villains dance party, or a lounge or something like that.
I'm just so tired of like villains becoming heroes and heroes becoming villains.
Yes.
Like, okay, we get it. It's super. It was deep like 5 years ago, 8 years ago. So, wow, I never thought of that before. Oh my goodness. And now it's like, okay, here it is. The villain's the hero. The hero's the villain. Okay, thank you.
No, well, I get that. I get that.
Like trying to find every redeemable quality in every villain ever existed, and just tell a story of good and evil, and like sometimes evil is evil and good's good. I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
No. I get it because
it could be they're good. I want it to be they're bad, and that's going there to see that side.
Yeah. Both. So I'm not trying to like be, it's not one or the other. I do think you need those kind of stories where maybe there's somebody in your life that looks like a here's like a boots to ground sort of application. Okay, maybe there's somebody in your life that looks like a villain, but maybe behind the curtain of that villain, is trauma. It's things that we need to have empathy and we need to connect with them and understand their story better. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think those kind of stories, we need them.
Yeah.
But also it's all about those stories, and it's just like, but then there's sometimes where the bad guy's just the bad guy. And those stories are important too, because it teaches everyone how to say, stand up for good. And just because like I'm on the right side of things, or I'm trying to be a good person, it doesn't make me a bad person. But then if I go do all the things that a bad person does, it makes me a good person. So it becomes confusing. Like sometimes just be a good person.
I get that.
It can be that easy.
Philosophical about this.
Okay. Gosh, it's another one of my. Okay,
No, I get him because
no, you didn't sign up for this.
No, so one of the villains that comes to mind is, and I will say this with like the utmost respect, my brother was obsessed with this movie for like literally would watch it like 10 times a day. Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Like
my son is named after one of the main characters.
So my brother put that movie on. I can quote it line for line because it's such a good movie. But it's like
I just love John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly, yeah, he's very good in that role. But like the whole aspect of what you were saying, Jeff, is the bad guy. He's programmed to be a bad guy, and he's not a bad guy. Like everyone just sees him as a bad guy, and he wants to be. He doesn't understand why. But like, then you go to like the other end of the spectrum of like, the DCOM, the Disney Channel original movie of Descendants. Like that first movie of Descendants was a great story of like.
Sure.
Being able to tell like the villains of like Cruella, Jafar, and the Evil Queen, and who's the other one? Their children.
In my Disneyland, I would not have a very specific carved out space just for villains because I'm like, no, they're villains. Like, no, you don't get your space.
I mean,
not my Disney. Not my Disney.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think their place is within the stories that they come from. So I'm fine with the Evil Queen being in a Snow White attraction. I'm fine with Maleficent being in a Sleeping Beauty attraction.
I'd have
100% fine.
Not all of them, but I'd have a select few. I'd have Hades because Hades is probably one of the best Disney villains.
But we already had that ride. It's gone. It was called Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I love that ride.
We already descended into the gates of hell, and nobody liked it. So why would we do it all over again?
I love that ride.
But
it's a great ride.
I actually did too.
But Hades is so sassy, man. Like you need that.
Well, okay, so in my Disney, all right, here's my Disney. You're right, and I'm gonna get funny with this.
Okay, go.
I'm gonna put Zach's. We're gonna reskin Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but it's gonna be Hades, and just like Mr. Toad, it's going to be the very first experience. Like you walk into the theme park and guess what? You got to go to hell.
Okay.
That was my experience. So you're like, let's go for a first ride. It's like Mr. Toad. You're like, let's go. And like you walk in the gates, you're like, cool. Well, it's going to be a fun day today. Where should we go first? Mr. Toad. Well, he sounds like a swell guy. And you're like, oh man, and you're in hell. You're spinning around the fire, the brimstone. You can smell the sulfur, but here's why. Here's why I think that's actually fun. Because where do you go from there? Everything's got to be better.
Up from there.
Just go up, so.
Okay, here's what I would do with a Hades ride. I would do like an under the castle boat ride featuring Hades as
yes. Okay.
100% I would do that. Animatronic Hades. But for Mr. Toad, I would keep Mr. Toad as is, but make it trackless dark ride. And it would have the double tracks like at Magic Kingdom used to have. Disneyland's is great, but it's a little small. So I would expand it.
There you go. Man. And this is why CJ was a cast member. Boom.
Had nothing to do with it. I promise.
Yep. I'm like, that's really good.
That sounds good, man. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, I that's a cool idea, but I want the villain's land, and what Jeff was explaining is like part of that. Like you can see that as soon as you get past. Like in every movie where there's the trees you don't go past. That would be the opening to my villain's land. You go through this tree with arms trying to grab you and whatever, and it's just all dark. And then you get to the other side, and you smell the sulfur. You see a big shrimp farm, whatever. Cauldrons all popping with bubbles and
nice. Yeah.
I don't know if there's riders or if it's just a meet and greet, but it'd be kind of cool.
I can see like a villain stage show, like they do Mickey's Magical Fair thing at the castle here, but have villains, and they could be like throwing stuff in the cauldron and like fire potion kind of thing.
Oh, so like the Halloween with the Sanderson sisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But have it be baddies all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Villains Grove, DCA Halloween, but expanded one.
That would be cool.
Yeah, yeah. That would be cool. I like the sound of that.
Like a hedge maze of evil.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I like. That is it DCA that they do? Where's you've got like at Disneyland? There's like is it Disneyland or DCA? There's like is it Grizzly? It's not Grizzly Peak.
Yeah, it's DCA.
Yeah, Grizzly Peak. Yeah, where it's like nature. So for the cast members for like Halloween, they do like a universal like scare zone, and it looks so good.
That's Villains Grove.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, that looks so fun. Just have that year round with like Disney villains.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It could be just like I said, just like a meet and greet, but
they're
themed and characters are in character, so like they're mean or whatever.
Yeah.
Like mean, but
Yeah, no, that sounds good, man. I like the sound of that. So I think
I have a couple more thoughts.
Okay, bring them on.
About this. I feel like a lot of Fantasylands have Pinocchio Village House as a restaurant, and I love Pinocchio for a lot of reasons, but I would change it to Snow White Village House and serve German food and have gooseberry pie.
Yes.
And like a poison dessert.
Some apple strudel.
Yes, that sounds good.
Exactly.
That sounds good.
And then my other idea, because everybody loves Peter Pan and it's a really cool ride system, but it always has a long line because the ride system, while great,
make 2 tracks.
No. I would do a Soarin' style Peter Pan ride.
Oh, okay.
That's my idea. I don't really like screen-based attractions, but I think Soarin' is so well done. It gets past.
Soarin' is one of my favorites. I love Soarin'.
That's it. That I'm like, up till now, I haven't thought about like because I'm not a big fan of screen-based attractions either. But Peter Pan, it's so fitting.
It writes itself. Soarin' over Neverland. Or Soarin' to Neverland.
Yeah.
Not to bring Universal into this, but I am. Soaring like Springfield, the Simpsons ride.
Oh, the Simpsons ride. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's like you are plunged into, and I went on the Harry Potter ride, and I'm like, man, I love Harry Potter, but
the Forbidden Journey.
It just didn't feel. I'm like, I want physical up. I wanted something that's like, I don't want to visually be tricked into being up and down and left or right.
Yeah.
I want to feel it in my. There's a different feeling when you feel it in your stomach. You know, like I want that feeling. But Peter Pan, I think, would be very, very different in that. It's all about sensory. Like you want to look around, you want and then boom.
And I'm just
be
picturing like, flying over the city scene at night and everything, and like, pixie dust flying across. I mean, they could even put that, the thing lowers a little bit. They could put like pixie dust on that.
Yeah.
And then that moment when you're like transposed from, London into the city, into Neverland. Like, what does that look like? What does that feel like?
Yeah.
And then that moment I would incorporate some sort of like feeling effect too, like I don't know, puff of air, something I don't care what it is, just something, be like boom, now you're in a different space, and then you're going low, and then you're like almost plunged in, and you're soaring over the waters, and then you're oh my gosh, oh man, my mind is just like, my 5-year-old brain is just like, ooh, I like this.
And if we can't have that in a castle park, they should put that in Epcot in the UK Pavilion if they're really gonna put an IP based attraction back there, I think that's much better than the Mary Poppins carousel thing.
I mean, if they're gonna, the carousel wasn't a great thing, but if they were gonna do Mary Poppins, Cherry Tree Lane, and just have
that'd be great.
I was so upset they cancelled Mary Poppins, man. I was so upset.
Yeah.
But why use Soarin' when you could use like the flight of passage system where you're actually like flying?
Well,
you can be all close to the water and close to picking up.
Yeah. My thought was, I think the pirate ship ride vehicle is pretty iconic, and I think you could make the mechanism look more like a pirate ship as opposed to like sitting on a motorcycle kind of thing. Unless they kind of made it so that you weren't like straddling a motorcycle and your feet were in front of you, but you still had the individual seats with the better movement.
I would make it seat me down or something, but so you're like,
dang, this ride gets me all excited.
I know, yeah.
So mad now.
What if you sat down and then it angled you down? Like, what is that? Manta at SeaWorld does that coaster?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
CJ, you need a job. You need to barge into the Disney doors,
Listen,
kick it,
man.
and just be like, with a Peter Pan hat on, and be like, "Do I have a PowerPoint for you?
Are you ready to go to Neverland?
Are you?
I'll just sprinkle my pixie dust."
And you look at that grumpy old man with the furrowed brow, like, "You don't look ready." He goes,
I can see her in the door and throwing some like.
You get pixie dust, and you get pixie dust.
They're like, pixie dust. You get pixie dust. You pick.
You all get pixie dust.
Okay, I remember looking at the concept art for Disneyland Forward, and I like 50-50 on whether or not there was a Tinkerbell section, but maybe they can bring that to Disneyland Forward and have like a Tinkerbell.
Speaking of Tinkerbell, have you seen Fantasy Springs at Tokyo?
Yes, it looks awesome.
Oh, gorgeous, beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's not owned by Disney. It's owned by Oriental Line Express, and they're just killing the game 100%.
Honestly, we could do that stuff if the movies just weren't sucking us dry.
Well, yeah.
Zach, I got a serious question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to fly?
100, yeah, man. Let's do it.
Jason. Serious question for you.
Do I want to fly?
Do you want to fly?
I do.
CJ definitely wants to fly.
Oh, I'm leading the pack here.
She's leading the pack. I want to fly. So why is this happening?
Where are we flying to, boys? Where are we flying to?
Neverland.
Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
That's right. Imagine the music.
Oh, it'd be gorgeous.
So good.
We could fly.
Patrick Warburton as Captain Hook.
Patrick Warburton? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter.
Maybe I can't do this. Sometimes I can't. He's hard to do.
He's
not hard to do. I just haven't real. Hey, Peter. Hey. No.
You want to fly, Peter?
Do you? No, I can't even type the channel. I can't.
He just came back and did a guest appearance at.
He did, and it looks so good.
I'm going to pause myself.
Oh, he looks so good.
That was really cool that he went there to DCA.
100%.
Reprise his role.
Absolutely, it was so fun. Oh, to be there, man, it'd be so fun. Oh, man.
Or something, but not that. No, brother. No, do you want to fly today? Oh, brother. Well, there's a schmaggle of honey on the other end.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by Sterling.
No. Oh, Sterling is way too. I love it. If I get, I'm like, if I, not to derail us, but if I had like a magic wand, it's like, can you go to lunch with one Disney voice actor ever? It'd be Sterling.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because he talked like he, it's Winnie the Pooh. Like you hear him, he's and Jim Cummings this is a story I tell often. Jim Cummings talks about this all the time. Jim Cummings, I don't think ever met Sterling Holloway, but there was one time when he was a kid, or maybe he met him, but he heard, he was in a diner, and he hears this. He hears, no, I believe I'll take the chowder. And that's it. And he's like, what? That's, and it was Sterling Holloway. He sounded like that. Oh, hello. No, hello, everybody. He just had that. He just sounded like that all the time. But then when he would go to places, he would, of course, you're a voice actor. You're going to put on the Pooh Bear a little bit. No, I think I take the chowder. And it's like, and then but he knew. And that always stuck with Jim Cummings, who is now the new, he's been Winnie the Pooh for a while. And I just think I don't know where the heck I'm going with that story. Let's get back on track. All right, I'm tapping out for a second. I'm so sorry. That's just one of Jeff's random voice acting.
All good, man. All good. I love hearing these though. I do believe I'll be right back. Oh man, good times. Oh, I don't even know where we're up to. Let me think. Okie dokie. Right. I think we did it. Yeah, we did Adventureland. We did Fantasyland. Yeah. Okay.
The stuff we haven't talked about is like Liberty Square, New Orleans Square, because that's where Haunted Mansion is.
You're on my radar. That was my next topic. Which one you choosing? It's a tough choice,
Yeah, it is. The level of detail in New Orleans Square is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like simply amazing, and it's so tied into Walt in his history.
For such a limited space as well, there's so much there. Like, like it's such a small area. It's got 2 rides. It's got 2 of the most iconic rides in like Disney history. Yeah.
However,
Liberty Square.
Being a former history teacher whose favorite subject is U.S. history.
Hall of Presidents, yeah.
Yes, I'm all about Liberty Square as well. I just wish the level of detail was bumped up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it kind of feels like an amalgamation of Philadelphia and Boston and other places.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would pick either one. I would almost pick like Edison Street, which was supposed to happen at Disneyland. It never did.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as how Haunted Mansion fits in that, I don't know. Like, I think it would probably take on a whole different story. Like maybe it would be an inventor's house where things have gone awry. I guess
cool if it was like take a little bit of what is the
Mystic Manor?
Mystic Manor.
Let's say it's like Edison's house and it's like electricity all
Yeah.
I
know what you're talking about, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that's the direction I'd go with it. I love Haunted Mansion, and I think every iteration of Haunted Mansion, whether it's Phantom Manor or Mystic Manor or whatever, I think they're executed extremely well.
Oh, 100%.
And so I'm fine with not having a duplicate of Haunted Mansion because they've told the Haunted Mansion story so well everywhere they've done. Like, I just want to see something new.
Yeah. Definitely agree. Yeah. I think any iteration that they do with the Haunted Mansion from now on, if they ever do open a new park, would be, I'd like to see. So I mean, obviously, it's probably never going to happen, but like, I'd love them to have an English-based park. I know Universal is looking at doing that down in Bedfordshire, which is just south of London, I believe. So obviously they're getting all the permits and the rights and stuff to do that, but like, I don't think Disney would ever do that. But I'd love to see like a UK themed kind of like Haunted Mansion kind of like telling of like I don't even know how that'd look. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that'd look, but like a telling
like
of
a haunted
that.
castle.
Yeah, something like that. Like a rural kind of like castle telling like the story of like, I don't know, taking inspiration from Brave or something like that, like Scottish Highlands or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be really cool in Fantasyland as part of like the boundary between Fantasyland and a villain's land.
Yeah.
Because there's some dark elements there, but also fitting into a Fantasyland story. So, I don't know.
Oh. That sounds good. I love the sound of that. That sounds really good. I mean, it's one of them. I feel like it's wherever they put it, they've done, like you say, they've done so well with the mansion that like any story that they tell, it's one of those things where it's super like engaged in the region that they could tell a story in and kind of like enroll that kind of stuff in like in like a specific kind of like environmental kind of like aspect of like, oh, if they went to like Mystic Manor is so because he changed it because obviously the Chinese don't believe in like death, they believe in more in like all that, you know, what Mystic Manor is in, like they don't believe in like death and ghosts and things like that, so they've got like this monkey that's kind of like whatever, like possessed.
Getting into mischief.
Yeah, so it's that kind of stuff. So it's like I'd love to see that in like a UK theme park where like, because one of our big things over here in the UK is like not witchcraft. What's it called? What's in it? What's the name of the thing? I don't know what it is, but oh no, what is it? I can't think of the name of it. It's a specific kind of like not witchcraft, but kind of like a lot of people believe in witchcraft over here. It's one of those things that like we're all kind of kooky in the head. We're all very bizarre. There's all some sort of like we believe in like spiritual beings, all that kind of stuff, and it's one of those where it's like I'd love to see that incorporated in like what's the name of it? Oh, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it. It's doing my head in. All I can think of is just people holding hands in a forest, and I don't know what it is.
Oh, like a seance or something?
Yeah, kind of like that.
What did I step back into? Oh my goodness! So I was gone for a second, and now you're talking about witchcraft.
Yeah, so Jeff, you might know.
Wait, what? Wait, what's going on? Yeah, because I'm super into the occult. God.
No, I was saying that people in England believe more in witchcraft and things like that. Pagan.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Paganism.
Yeah.
Yes, where people hold hands in a forest and don't wear shoes. We were talking about an English kind of like fun.
Oh my goodness. Because we all know that's what paganism is. It's like, look, you can all dance naked in the woods, but you gotta be wearing some socks. You know, that's like something, you know.
And depending on the time frame, you're either talking 60s or paganism. Like
morals
depends what drugs you're using, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I've always heard you either lose your moral, you go to a party, it's way too late. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Thank you.
But you either lose your morals or you lose your shoes. And it's not. It's a strict universal law. Like it's one of the two. So you could be like, wow, I didn't partake in the magic whatever the magic pill was, or the, you know, here's whatever the edible or whatever the brown.
I didn't eat the mushrooms. What you on about?
But you're like, dang, but gosh, man, these were like $200 pair of boots, man.
If we're in the middle of the forest, I want your shoes.
Yeah, your shoes are gone. But then you're like,
I will lose my morals.
You're like, oh my gosh, gorsh, I have my shoes. But then you're like, you look around and you're like, you're just wearing you're wearing a Santa hat and you're holding a pair of jumper cables and there's nothing else. And you're like, what did I do last night? And then I woke up in a ditch, but you got your shoes. So it's either one or the two. So I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
God.
that's exactly where you're going with this conversation.
100%.
I'm almost positive.
You
And
jumped
I'm sure
halfway
it
in and
had
you knew
everything
exactly
to do
where
with
we were
Disney.
going. No.
We were on Haunted Mansion.
We were on the Haunted
Interior
Mansion with
story
Tommy.
line.
Of course.
Yes.
It makes all the sense.
So, like a
what
UK,
land would you put it in? And
yeah, like a
what direction would you
UK based
go?
Disney with like a. I feel like CJ was saying like a castle with like, and then I was talking. I couldn't think of the word, but then paganism would be like a big kind of
Yeah.
like topic over
Yeah,
here
yeah,
with
yeah.
like death and witchcraft
So
and
you're
that kind of
going
stuff.
like witchcrafty kind of stuff. I'm going like inventor's house gone
Yeah,
awry.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
Jason, where are you going with Haunted Mansion?
I think I'm on your aspect because, like I said, that Edison kind of idea of Mystic Manor kind of feel. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I would just go classical, like doesn't matter. Could be on some burial ground, could be on some
Oh, an
like
Indian burial
to me, a
ground. That'd
haunted
be
house
cool.
doesn't have to be like set in a I don't know, like it doesn't have to be too narrowly defined. It's just a haunted, like it could be an old anything, like it could like an old I don't know, science lab could be haunted.
Okay.
Anything
yeah,
could be
nice.
haunted to me.
Give
Like,
Jeff
to me, it's like this.
give Jeff one of those old kind of like fun fair haunted houses. Let's say.
Yeah.
With the
I want to
crap.
put it like an institution or something like creepy like that. You know
Like
what I
a
mean?
Okay.
yeah, like a
an
psycho kind of
asylum.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like an
Oh,
old
okay.
asylum.
That
Or-
sounds
or
like
even-
Universal kind of scary though, kind of like
Yeah,
haunted,
or even like a, you know,
like a scare,
I've
like a
worked at-
scare house. That sounds cool.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds dope. I like the sound of that. That sounds good. Yeah, there we go. I like the sound of that.
You know what else we want to talk about? Pirates.
Oh, we gotta
Oh,
talk about pirates.
Yeah,
Because that's, I mean, and so in Disneyland, that's in New Orleans Square.
yeah.
In
Yeah.
Florida, it's in Adventureland.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would put it in this park
Ooh.
because, you know, in my mind, Adventureland is going more animals.
Mm,
Frontierland doesn't feel right either.
no.
If I'm going with Edison Street over any other kind of thing, that doesn't really feel right either. Like I really truly think if I go back to what Jason was saying about Western River Expedition, and I would just nix pirates. It's okay.
Mhm.
Not every park has to have pirates, and we're doing Western River Expedition.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah,
I mean,
pirates is.
And Tom Sawyer type island, like ours was now pirate theme. We could do like a pirate island.
Yeah.
I see that going in Fantasyland for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah.
weird, but
No, I can see that. Yeah, yeah. I think I'd have it like a Tom Sawyer Island in mind, kind of like a separate area, but like a very highly themed kind of like immersive kind of like cavern, like a pirate, full of like treasures and a restaurant and
yeah.
very
And
very
I would-
immersive.
We were talking about like the treehouse, like Swiss Family or whatever. I would put
Yeah.
that on the island as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that idea because I think, as a parent of young children, they need some place to run around. And if you just put them on an island or put them in a separate land, have them explore and pretend to be pirates, like
Yeah.
you don't have to have a ride to tell that story. You can have just a restaurant and a
Yeah.
treehouse.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Like I feel.
Let them be pirates. Don't
Yeah.
let them,
Like the
or,
the
like,
rat.
don't make them just see pirates. Like let
Yeah.
them be the story.
That's
Yeah.
why it's cool. There's the caves now on either where the kids can go and explore. And
Yeah. Now I don't know if Disneyland have these, but at Magic Kingdom they have those interactive kind of like, what are they? Interactive like kind of like games where you can like use your magic band to like explore the parts of the thing. I'd give.
There's some little interactive like button pushing kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, try to take the golden pirate come out and
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say it's not as robust as what Walt Disney World offers.
No. Yeah. But what I'd do is I'd give them like a pirate map and be like, they'd be all different. There'd be like 3 or 4 different ones, and they have to follow like certain clues to find like different things of treasure on the island.
Like
to be
a
like,
pirate quest.
yeah, like a
That'd be
pirate
really cool.
quest, yeah, and get them to like, and it leads to like this giant sand pit where like they can actually dig for the treasure with like little pirate
That's so
chests,
cool.
and then in the pirate chest it'd be
All
like,
magnetic sand.
yeah, and then within like
I
in like the pirate chest, it'd be like a redemption for like, I don't know, a free snack or like a free kind of like little magnet or something like that. Something that they can pick up and be like, yes, I did this. I got this.
Yeah.
Like,
and they could do like
Like a
how to be a pirate
college
class.
scholarship.
yeah.
Disney University.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
You're like, hey, they'll teach them. They'll teach you to dig in the sand. The next time you dig in the sand, you do something super mediocre. Bam. You're just leveled up.
They'll teach.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's like there's someone just like, oh, I'm just digging in the sand, and they're like, I'm just a kid, and like, a Harvard scholarship. Well, I don't know. And then before you know it, they're like the next CEO. That could be a movie of like. Because someone just wanted some, Disney's like, why not?
How did you get to Harvard? Oh, I just dug it up out the sand.
Let's just put this stuff in the and something so trivial or mediocre. Just I don't know why that's funny.
No, I get that. That's
kind of is though.
Yeah, that's kind of. I like that.
All
right. But yeah, I think that'd be a cool idea for like not so much like a pirate themed area with like a nice restaurant, kind of like the Blue Bayou kind of like aspect of like a restaurant where it's themed and you've got like a nice view of like the lagoon and things like that. And hey, maybe there'll be a pirate ship that goes across with like a show like on the lagoon for like every 45 to an hour, kind of like that kind of. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Like a pirate stunt show or something.
Yeah, like a pirate stunt show. Yeah. That'd be cool. But yeah.
What would you like to go on during that pirate stunt show?
I mean, I'm a fan of I'm a fan of pirates in general, like the movies and stuff. So I'd like to see Jack and Barbossa or kind of like that kind
Captain
of
Red or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Captain Red. Yeah, absolutely. Like those kind of characters, just full on like battling it out.
You want like.
I mean the pirate scene,
like water world.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I was thinking the Phantasmic scene too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That'd be very, very cool. Yeah, and it'd look even better at nighttime. Like, imagine that at nighttime. Oh, yeah.
And if they built the water deep enough, they could expand on that and have people like dive in and
jet skis and all the stunt. Make it a stunt show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's it. Actually walk the plank,
Yeah.
Stunt show.
Absolutely.
Sword fighting. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. That'd be cool.
We should do that.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. And then like
speaking of sword fighting, one thing that they always miss upon, like it's never in any of the parks, but yet it's all center. You have castles, and you have a sword in the stone that you can pull out, but there's no like knights walking around or, like be cool to expand upon.
Oh
I think the closest we get is a carousel where you ride a horse that has medieval decoration.
Yeah.
And if I was like an 8-year-old boy, that that the thing they do where it's like, oh, nobody can pull out the sword, and there's one lucky person.
Yeah.
And I pulled out the sword. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so special. I look around. I'm like, where's the knights? Where's my?
Where is everyone?
They could do a Merlin magic show.
And that'd be cool.
Archimedes' little owl could be your like host for the show while you're waiting.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be cool. And then Madam Pim comes in and kind of like interrupts every time. That'd be cool.
Oh man, if they had him in meet and greet, I'd be all over that.
Yes, absolutely, awesome. Absolutely. That'd be cool. That'd be very, very cool. Oh, I love that. How about you guys? What is your wait, what are we talking about? I'm completely lost. Oh yeah, pirates. I don't even.
Pretty much anything extra. What other things would you fit in there that aren't currently in the parks? What other kind of stories?
I mean, this is probably a hot take, but like I love the Pirates franchise. I love the movies. There's a couple of them that are, I mean, I've got a video on it. You can go watch it. But like, take out Jack Sparrow from the actual rides. like, take out the IP of the movie and just make it the OG pirates at like Disneyland and Walt Disney World. I think that'd be a better idea of in terms of like, I don't know. It to me it just feel like Jack doesn't really add anything to the story, so there's not much point in him being in it.
He doesn't add anything to the ride at all.
No, not at all. Like, and just like, yeah, I mean, and yeah, just, I mean, I remember the whole controversy of him changing it all a few years back and be like, just, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I couldn't understand why they're changing it. It wasn't culturally appropriate, but like at the same time,
you're talking about Pirate Red.
you're talking about, yeah. I mean, you're talking pirates again. The like,
I know.
Again,
I got very mixed feelings on that.
again, it's like from what the 1500s. They're not gonna be culturally appropriate to the 21st
Right.
century. They're gonna chase after women. They're gonna auction off women. And
Well, see, the thing
like,
is,
it sounds really
if
like,
if they're gonna do that, then they need to stop drowning the mayor for information. They
Yeah,
also need to stop shooting guns at
yeah.
the boat, and
Yeah.
they also need to stop drinking and lighting things on fire.
They
Like,
just need to stop being
drawing
pirates
the
and
line
just
of
be.
drinking and-
They just need to stop being pirates and just be, you know, well civilized men.
Can we
Like,
not use that word pirates? Can we please use something different? Like,
I know, like I'm torn on it because you know I have a daughter and I want her to know
Of
that
course,
she
of
has
course.
more value than
of course, yeah.
yes.
treated
Yes,
women.
yes, yes.
But
Yeah.
also I'm like, okay, we're stepping back into
But
a
all,
time when this is how it was.
Victorian
also-
culture, like,
yeah, but also like
But
you're torn about it. I am as well, because obviously like women are, you know, deserve the you know, everything. Like, women are awesome. Like, you know, they deserve as much as everybody else for equal rights and everything like that. And we're gonna get deep here, but like, they also need to understand the history of how far women have come in terms of that time period. So it's like, yeah, in like pirate times in like the 1500s, they weren't treated the best way. They're gonna be like treated like, and this sounds awful, but they're gonna be treated like crap because like
Yeah.
But
pirates.
they were subversive, even in the Pirates ride. So
Yeah.
there was a joke in the old Pirates ride, which was, you know, the man chasing the woman, and then the woman chasing the man.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was like this nod to saying, hey,
Yeah.
you know, we understand. To me, I thought that was. I love that part. And they
Yeah, of
just got
course,
it.
yeah.
But it was sort of, to me, that was it was saying, look, pirates are pirates, and if you're making a pirate ride, but let's to me that was subversive. If
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
use that language.
Yeah, of
But
course,
in
yeah.
a good
I
way. In
get
a
it.
good way. I thought that was
Yeah,
that was
of
great.
course.
And saying, you know, as like, you know, sometimes I mean, I guess people can look at it. I get this, so I'm trying to be nuanced. So I get people can look at it and say, you know, that's not funny. We shouldn't joke about these kind of things.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
But they're
100%.
women pirates.
But
Right.
then like, if you're gonna make a pirates ride, well, maybe we can. How can we say, you know? So here's this is my thought, and I want to know what you all have to think about this. Let's take the pirates ride.
Mhm.
What do you all think? You know, it's rooted in history, yes, but how rooted in history is the question. Like, you can make it so
Right.
modernized,
Yeah.
where it's not pirates anymore.
No,
Let's just be
exactly.
honest, it's not
Exactly.
pirates.
Yeah.
Or you can make it so rooted to where it's well, we just have to make it accurate, but you don't pull it into the now.
No.
What do you think about, you know, people like, you know, Jack Sparrow, like the characters? And here's what, and this could extend to Luke Skywalker or other
Yeah.
characters as well. What about making these characters not so rooted into whether it's the IP or the movies themselves, but making them characters that go beyond the actors that portray them? So we all know, like Johnny Depp, like there's some, you know, there's animosity between him and Disney. So what do you do now? You have all this investment in Jack Sparrow, but now it's like, oh, do we just write him off, or do we use his character as sort of, well, he's still the character, same with Luke Skywalker, he's still this character.
Yeah.
Could this character be played by other people? In the rides, portray the narrative? Let's go back to Pirates. Like maybe you can still incorporate, the movie, all the stuff that you've been building. Disney's been building on this stuff for years, years. But what do? Just go back to this stinks. Let's go back to how it was. Well, I don't think Disney's going to do that. We know Disney's not going to do that.
Yeah.
But what do? Are you going to bring Johnny Depp back? No. They're not going to do that either. So what do? And this is just my silly answer is, well, maybe you make these characters, you make these characters larger than life. You make these Jack Sparrow is bigger than Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that just because Johnny Depp is not playing Jack Sparrow, you can't portray Jack Sparrow. Same with Luke Skywalker. People love Luke Skywalker, and they're just like, oh, let's just write him off, and now here's your new characters to love. Nobody loves these new characters.
Yeah.
No, nobody loves these. Nobody cares about these new characters.
Yeah.
But if you made them larger than life, even Luke and Han and Leia, and you brought those stories to life, but you make the characters themselves large to anybody and everybody can fill their shoes, whether it's a ride. Do you think that opens it up, or do you think they're tied more to the characters or the actors themselves? What do you think?
I think that's why I'm somebody who's against having IP in the parks, because if you remove the Jack Sparrow animatronic from the ride, now you get to be Jack Sparrow. Everybody gets to be Jack Sparrow and fill those shoes and have the experience of being a pirate. Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge where it's at Disneyland, but I understand that's an important Star Wars story to tell. I'm okay with not having every single Star Wars character walk around. I'm okay with not seeing the characters there, because it gives us, the viewer, the guest, an opportunity to fill those shoes and make it a timeless character, not portrayed by a single person,
Yeah. I get that.
So yeah, I'm on the fence of pull the IP out of the ride so that however, if you want to experience Pirates as Jack Sparrow, you can pretend to be that person. If you want to experience it as a passive viewer, you can be that person. If you want to be Pirate Red, you can be that person.
Yeah.
So that's where
anyone, look at Spider-Man. We wouldn't just say, well, Tom Holland is Spider-Man. No. You have Tobey Maguire. You have Spider-Man. The character of Spider-Man is so much bigger. Of course, in the last movie, they had 3 of them just to fill the shoes.
Right.
So, what about Jack Sparrow? What about Luke Skywalker? Can you open up the range of the character to fit more people so that, in a ride, let's say, or Jack Sparrow, right? So, maybe it doesn't just have to be, put out a cartoon, put out different depictions of Jack Sparrow, so that when they go, I'm tying it back into the Pirates, when you go and you go to the Pirates ride and they invoke these characters that like Jack Sparrow, it's not this binary either or dichotomistic, it's either Johnny Depp or it's nobody. No. This is a character, and Johnny Depp played this character, but this is still very well, but then you open up the character to, whether it's animatronic or a cartoon or a new actor to come in and fill the shoes. And I think that's where you make maybe some of these characters, like Pirates of the Caribbean never really had a
character,
a main character, a showrunner, someone who feels this is the person of Pirates. Well, Johnny Depp did,
and it would have been Auctioneer, which they never even put in the movie. So
who?
The Auctioneer.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
I want a full movie based on the dog that holds the keys, but that's just mine.
Yes.
That would actually be a really cute kids cartoon series.
Yeah, absolutely. Where does Rover hide the keys?
I think kind of what you're getting at, though, Jeff, is the way that 007 works.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Good point.
Yeah.
Now, do you think I'm wrong on that?
I think that's the way it should be.
No, I agree.
But you don't have to have every character be James Bond. It could be a new spy.
Yeah.
In the same world, you could have a different pirate actor that is a different character, but it'd be in the same world.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing Steve and I talk about all the time. Don't remake your movies. Make them continued. Make them different characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop with the live actions.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't have to remake Little Mermaid. She has 12 sisters. You could have made another sister, a different story, and then you could have came back and maybe had both of them in it and had like a part 3 or whatever. Like you don't have to remake the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah, it's lazy storytelling when they do that.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I think it limits what they do in the parks too.
Yeah.
If there's ever a live action Goofy movie, I'm gonna be rolling in my grave.
But
God.
again, this is what we're talking about too. You're trying to base everything on IP. You had Goofy rides before we even had Mickey rides.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your Mickey ride that you're having right now is pretty much a Goofy ride, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not.
Well, let's face it, Goofy is the best. So
The king.
But if you make everything based on IP, and then you put your actor, you have a what's her name from Wish? Oh, here she is. Here's a meet and greet, and nobody cares about her because the movie hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like you're limiting stuff. You want to put new things into your parks before they're even like established, and that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally get that. I totally get that. It's one of them where like when they announce Asher in the park, so it's like, what? Why? Like the movie's not out for at least another month or so. Like
It's the marketing machine, the PR machine.
yeah,
yeah.
and it
is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, I hate to say this, I gotta go. I gotta go soon.
Okay.
I mean, like within 5 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes. 10. Okay. Okay. 11 and a half minutes.
All right.
Okay.
I'm getting to that point too. I gotta get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're nearly done now, though. To be fair.
Let's wrap it up in a
Yeah.
positive note. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, the ultimate Disney park. We've all decided. I think we're fair to say, Disney Imagineers, if you're listening, hit us up. We know what we're doing. The fans know what they want.
Yes.
Let's make it happen. I will collaborate. Joe Rody, if you're listening, come back to us, please. That is the only Imagineer I will work with.
Wait, not Tony Baxter.
Tony Baxter, Bob Weiss. I mean, the legends, those ones. Any of those.
I'll work with anybody. I'm a sellout. So anyone that wants to, Orange, well, I have a lot of things to say. Well, I have a lot of problems. You there, these people. I was thinking Festivus on Seinfeld.
Yeah, I know a guy named Bob Kerr.
I mean, Bob Gurm. Oh, it's just. It still baffles me how you know that, man.
I love you.
Oh,
I
my.
love you. I love you. I love you.
But yeah, man, 100%. If you guys, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been amazing. And be sure to check out Signs of Amusement. Be sure to check out Goofy Stories. Be sure to check out Park to Park and CJ's awesome podcasts. And just thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a magical day. And I will see you all very soon.